In the last session, you guys went to General Azorius in the northern region of the palace to discuss moving the slaves around. Having only hours before he went to meet Franchester, you rushed to deliver him the Netherbite potion, convincing him that you were doctors. He almost immediately became unbelievably high, and the slaves tried to escape, seeing their opportunity. In all the chaos, some managed to break free, but all were caught by the many guards. Hap, one of the especially cruel guards, took charge of the situation, calling for more beating of the Dragonborn so they won't pull that type of stuff again. Franchester was hauled off to his house, and Azorius eventually showed up to run after him. With the rest of your time, you rehearsed with Rosemary and began prepping the stage for your big performance. In preparation for our season finale, you have seen the construction through. The set of slaves working on the statue, overseen by Franchester, were temporarily transferred, although 5 of them that had ran away had been considerable bruises and missing scales and did not perform quite as efficiently. You had done several rehearsals with Rosemary, and she's excited to deliver the performance. Your costumes have been fitted and prepared. Jadir has continued his blasphemous accusations, spreading notes about the city and word of Jeremiah Kingsley. The evening before your big performance, you sit around your table at the tavern, eating a hearty meal.
Well, this is it.
Yes, it is indeed. It's a bit strange how we ended up doing this, but
I think that's one word for it.
well, yes.
For exciting.
At one point, we're chasing an old man, the next in a jungle, and almost getting eaten by a giant bird. And then third, playing for royalty.
Yes, it's been a rather interesting journey. Is there anything else we need to do last minute preparations? I always get a knot in my stomach.
Well, to be fair, I don't think there's much else to do. Other than enjoy the moment. This is probably the first time in a while we've had a bit of a peace and quiet.
I'm afraid it's going to be rather short-lived.
Oh, definitely. But, on the bright side, well, there's not really much of a bright side, but on the good side, we ain't dead yet. Emphasis on yet.
Gerald, you are the bright side.
Oh. And you are forever one keeping me away from getting myself killed.
I'm glad I'm of use.
Also, a really good friend.
Like what?
So, bacon martini, or do you want to go for something a bit more rich?
Look, at this point, it's a bit of a tradition, I think. Bacon blossoms around.
You guys got a pregame.
Wait. Peeky out. Yes, it's...
Unfortunately, it's rather difficult this class.
Does the DM want to join us in our fantastical tradition? Yes, lovely.
Ooh, yes!
Shall we talk about curtains? Anyways.
Only if you're to plan hanging someone from them.
Oh, definitely. You know, if we ever end up in a situation where we have any power in this place, I kind of wish we can ban curtains. At least certain curtains. Like, put a curtain limit.
Certain, and that would be the strangest decree in the history of the city. I think that'll be enshrined in the lower courts.
Oh, definitely.
The great ban on curtains.
The great curtain ban of 2020.
And many will thank me for it. Hey, at least I'm not building a wall like certain some king.
I think the wall here is rather stately already. If anything, it should be brought down.
That is true. Oh, yes, sorry. I forgot, those are statues, not walls. That might as well be the same thing.
No, I'm speaking about the incredibly valuable, stately walls of the city, of course.
Hmm.
It's a lot
So-
of precious metal.
That is true. And I can think of a lot of people that have their eyes on it. Though, to be fair, that would be the biggest heist in the world if someone did that.
Heist campaign. Steal the walls of the entire city. We're gonna need a bigger crane.
Fuck that, bring me a Tarrasque!
Well,
But, you know, maybe plan for a later date. But, on the fun side, well, you get to have a fancy meal, talk with the nobility while we're prepping the stage, and, you know, actually just have a nice time for once.
David, is the performance tonight or tomorrow?
It's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Alright. Well, I suppose in that case, Jadir would bake and blossom away tonight and retire.
All right.
Wait, do you bake and blossom yourself to the point of just passing out?
Almost?
Oh, God.
It's been
You
working so far.
drunkenly stumble up to your room, completely hammered. You open up the door, stumbling into your room, and a familiar-looking tiefling is sitting on a chair, waiting for you to enter. Ah! Oh.
Help me. Let me get my coat off.
Your brother stands up and helps you take your coat off, and then throws it on the bed.
But I was supposed to be the. Never mind.
Is this a bad time?
Always.
Always. Always, always. So what's the deal with, Francesca? Is everything ready to go? You got your note.
You should believe that he is incredibly sick.
Right. So what do you want me to do now? Should I approach him?
At your leisure.
Let him know that we can fix...
He thinks you're the only cure.
Honestly, I've been making quite a profit. I've been flipping drugs to the nobles on the surface that I buy in the underground. I've spit up quite a good business here. I might stick around. Maybe I can get him hooked.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you, thank you. Alright. Anything I should be careful of?
Some strange dragonborn people around.
Okay, Jadir.
Resistance? Oh, grab my boots.
He kind of licks his lips, looking back and forth. Nods his head.
Collapsed on the bed, wiggling his feet in the air.
He walks out the door and closes it behind him.
Jackass.
Hey,
Jadir just passes out, cursing his brother.
I've never seen a more creative way to get rid of the person you don't want to talk to.
I think Jadir genuinely needed help with his boots.
You walk into Jadir's room in the morning and find him completely passed out with his boots still on.
I kind of just look at it and I go, I will do what any good friend should do in this situation. And I close the door.
At least you didn't draw a penis on his face.
He opens the door. Okay, no. But anyway.
Alright, Jadir, you wake in the afternoon.
Well, all preparations are done, I suppose.
Preparations are done. Anything you guys want to do before you...
I suppose Jadir would head to the Grand Theater early, see if anything's going on backstage that is of concern, do like a final round of double checking that everything's fine.
Are you coming as well, Gerald?
Yeah. I'm going to go over a bit of a list. I wanted to, but like I'm assuming that it has been done.
Yes.
So
go for it.
Basically, I want to make sure that there are safe places to jump around, first of all. Like short ledges, basically sturdy ledges where he can jump around and stuff.
Could have told that to the slaves while they were constructing.
Yeah. Then after that, I would like to test. I would have wanted to test in the meanwhile. Because I never really asked about this, when I mantle inspiration someone else, do they just full on get beautified or do they just get sparklified?
Which sounds like to me that they get beautified.
Alright. So, that's
Mantle of Inspiration is the one that changes your appearance. You get a wondrous appearance, right?
Yeah, but it grants yourself a wondrous appearance.
Oh, yeah, in that case, only you become wondrous.
Yeah. Does it have any visual effects on, like...
Yeah, they get Tinkerbell dust as they walk by.
You know what? You know what? I can work with that. Alright, and last, but not least, so we kind of floated the idea of ascending down. Now, since we don't have the Featherfall spell, I wanted to use one of the ledges as kind of like a cover, like it looks like it's a tree branch, basically.
Yeah, totally.
But
you could also have it set up so that you have like wires attached to you to give the false appearance of flight.
That seems like a bad idea.
I mean, people do it in regular plays all the time.
Okay, then I have to ask,
we had plenty
are the people behind the wires competent enough?
Of course, these people are experts at putting on stage performances. This is the high theater.
Because otherwise it would be very awkward just going like...
It's just the fat, horny old man with 3 chins, just like... No.
He walks up to everybody, even the king goes,
hey baby.
That guy's a legend.
Truly the best NPC.
Yes, everyone here is very competent at putting on performances.
Okay, then I have no worries of doing flips and other such things around.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
I believe we are indeed.
As ready as we'll ever be.
I'm, like, actually kind of nervous for you in real life.
Oh, trust me. Oh, yeah. Quick note. Before everything begins, I will enchant ability Eagle's Splendor, because I want that advantage.
All right. You can do that. You... Eagle Splendor. Sparkles.
Bardic Inspiration. Is Bardic Inspiration instant or...
Has bardic inspiration what?
Like an instant thing. No, I'll just have one. Otherwise, I feel like I'm cheating it a bit.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
I have bardic inspiration myself also. Just
I believe you
before
can
the-
only have one inspiration effect at a time.
Yeah, but I was wondering, like, if you could quickly sneak another one while doing the thing. But
If you
I feel
can
like that.
reasonably do it. Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
We'll see how
you're
it
performing
goes.
the whole time, so.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that is actually true.
All right.
Right.
So, Jadir, you take your place among the audience. You watch as the seats slowly begin to fill with incredibly well-dressed nobles. And like the entire theater is getting very, very crowded. You can see that the curtains are still closed. Backstage, everyone is putting the final touches on everything, getting ready together. At the very end, once all the seats are filled, the main doors open once again, and in walk two very tall standing figures dressed in royal purple robes. They each wear a crown upon their head, and holding hands, they stride forward to take two seats directly in front of the stage that are elevated above the others, so that they alone have the best view upon the entire seats. King and Queen Audemars take their seats right in front of you to watch your performance.
Well, talk about being in your face.
Best of luck.
You hear...
And this,
Oh, yeah.
and this is where my luck dies.
That's a natural one for performance.
Two of them, even when I have an advantage.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the High Theater, the curtains part, revealing, oh my god, I forgot his name. Harper. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the High Theater, I, Harper, whose name hath been remembered by the great God, give unto you one of the most exciting performances yet to be delivered at the High Theater. Thank you, King and Queen Audemars, for attending our show once again. Your support we are ever grateful for. Put your hands together for the Floating Butterfly and Rosemary Lamafort. And woo! You like whistles and applaud from the crowd as the one of the stage assistants behind you just gives you like a quick shove. And
Shoves him on the stage.
to push you onto the stage.
I think he knows how to do it.
And Harper kind of holds his hand out to and slowly walks off to the side of the stage, revealing you and Rosemary.
Yeah. So, well, actions speak louder than words, don't they? So, immediately, I want to do kind of like a thing where he kind of like, they would have rehearsed this properly. So where he kind of like plays the violin slowly, but he like immediately kind of touches her back. So it's kind of like a back-to-back situation.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And then he kind of like starts playing like very softly. And as they kind of move, it's kind of like but the people are synchronized to the point where they're holding back to back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You begin
And-
slowly moving across the floor back to back, gently playing your violin.
Mhm.
The stage is
And-
set for the magical forest, and the two of you are dressed in brilliant costumes.
Mhm. So, as I am playing, he kind of like starts playing, and it kind of has a moment where it kind of like slowly goes away, like further away into the forest, and suddenly, as soon as he's kind of like semi out of sight, the music, like for a split second, stops while he casts Mantle of Inspiration. He is hidden by the bushes and
Okay.
stuff like that.
You go
And
behind a
he
tree prop.
Yeah, tree prop. And he swings himself up. I hate this form. That is what I'm dubbing this. I hate this form. And he casts Mental Inspiration on himself and her. So, and he also has a Bardic Inspiration on himself. He has Eagle Splendor. And he kind of like does like a flip on the branch. So now it looks like the man disappeared and instead came someone else. And the music is suddenly a lot more like intense, like with a lot more energy in it. And yeah, as soon as that is done, he kind of like jumps down towards her, and with the wires kind of like has the feeling of like floating like towards her.
Sparkles are flying out from behind you.
Hate that, but yes. And
Leaving behind
I'm just imagining like Peter
a
Pan right
trail
now.
of dust. Yeah.
it's very Peter Pan. It's very Peter Pan-esque, but think if Peter Pan was a bit more elegant.
Yes. And buff.
Isn't that actually?
Sexy shirtless Peter Pan. Oh yeah.
The fanfic writes itself.
Hello, Rosemary.
Oh God. But yeah. And as like the guy is kind of helping him float, he kind of like takes the hand of her, and the music. And I looked this up because you can make with prestidigitation, you can make illusions, right?
Mm-hmm. Minor
So-
illusions.
Minor illusions. So he makes an image like where it's really close, where he's still playing, but it's like a small hand is like asking her for a dance.
Sure. She takes the magical hand. Careful not to break the illusion.
Mm-hmm. And then the kind of like more intense dancing starts as they both kind of like, even though she is kind of like being left a bit behind, but the hand's still holding around. It's almost like he's like not flinging around the air, but like more like every step is like he's stepping on something solid, like with the wires and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there's more, but I'm feeling like this is getting old really quick.
No, you go, this is your grand performance. Take your time.
All right.
This is your moment, man.
All right. And after that, when he's basically done, he kind of like softly goes back to the soft music, lands on the ground, and then he goes as well, and this would be a bit of a surprise. He basically starts like going down, and he kind of like half picks her up. Like imagine it's kind of like giving her the
Yes.
illusion of floating.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Also, at this point, make your first performance check.
I have so many nets. I swear
I
to
have
God.
various DCs for level of being impressed by the nobility.
Oh my God. 10, 10, aka 18, 18. I am fucking using a bardic inspiration. Please. Please be kind. It's a 20.
All right, 20 for your first roll. You have enraptured the crowd in your performance. All eyes are on the two of you. Not a single soul looks to be bored or distracted. Only a couple people have coughed so far.
The audience, every time you pick up Rosemary for that brief moment of levitation, Jadir and others around audibly gasp.
Oh my lord. And yeah. And then, after all that kind of build-up, after the full build-up, he kind of like lands down, and the violin seems to stop almost. But with precipitation, because you can constantly play a sound with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a faint sound. So it's like a continuation of the sound with precipitation, but more like it's become the background.
Sure.
And yeah,
Why not?
I am so
You
happy.
create an echo of your violin playing in the background.
And he kind of takes her hand like a full proper dance, full on wall, and kind of like with using kind of the sparkles and the beautification. Like suddenly, I hate myself. But yeah, takes like a full-on proper like dance where the intense music now finally fits with the dance style, like full-on properly, as it seems to be reaching the full-on like the finale of the performance after having done the other things for a while.
Hand in hand, you guys dancing across the stage elegantly through the forest, sparkles flying in your wake, lighting up the darkened room with this glowing golden like luminance following your path, creating that kind of slowly fades as you make your way through the forest, kind of displaying in this golden hue the magnificent stage you have prepared.
Yeah. And finally, once the music kind of like fully fades away, almost like a signal of the magic finally finishing, Gerald kind of like stands, looks at her, takes a deep bow, and with a typical kiss on the hand as a gentleman, disappears and back.
Jadir, you see, only a few moments before Gerald finishes her performance, a tall man in loose garbs, covered in extravagant jewelry. He wears a golden crest upon his head that you immediately recognize as Gishrath's headpiece. He is currently walking down the center aisle to your left. You hear a voice in your mind. I hunger. And he flashes you a knowing smile. A pointed smile, you might even say.
Wait,
Oh no.
wait, what is going on?
What is going on?
Wait, who is going down the thing?
It is a human.
Okay, for a second I thought the king was, and I was like, what? Okay, can I get a bit of a context? Because I was a bit lost there.
You don't get any context.
Jadir glances around him if there are free seats anywhere.
Okay,
He
so
is slowly walking past you, directly down the aisle.
If he's not stopping, Jadir does nothing.
but yeah,
Yes.
there-
No
Attention is
one
direct-
appears to be paying any attention to him. Everyone's eyes are drawn on the stage as he slowly walks towards the king and queen from behind.
yeah. But at this point, he is like Because he did still finish the performance. He went back and like the
You're
curtains
still
were-
performing right now.
Oh,
Yeah. This is in the middle of the performance.
so this is like where he's going down and kissing
Yeah,
the
so
hand.
this is like right now. No, right now you're like currently floating through the stage, flying with sparkles everywhere.
Well,
It does nothing.
You do nothing. All right.
there's nothing I can do.
You watch as Gishrath in human form approaches the king and queen from behind. For a split second, you can see his form growing as a tiger would. And for this fraction of a second, suddenly, the world has frozen in front of you. You see Gishrath standing behind the king and queen, frozen in time. Jaws, furious, fangs bared. The entire crowd around you frozen. Some people, one man frozen mid-cough. Jadir, yeah, you see Gerald and Rosemary in mid-flight, captured in their singular position. Time seems to have stopped entirely.
Okay, so it's him. I'm so confused.
Can I identify the source of this? Gishrath
No.
is also frozen?
Gishrath is frozen.
It's all you, buddy. I'm currently.
Can I make out anybody who looks suspicious at all?
Make a perception check.
Rolls a 1. I feel quite suspicious.
A 10.
You look around and see every single person frozen in time. And then looking down, it is only now that you notice, you look at yourself and see all of your veins bulging in black polygonal patterns.
Jadir will call out?
You call out into the world, your voice echoing through the theater.
He starts walking around the aisles of the Grand Theater, freaking out about what is going on with his body.
You look around, seeing like touching things, putting it like your hand, the back of your hand bulging with this black polygonal, almost like wires moving through your body, of black ink. You stand, looking around, walking through the aisles, and as you're walking through one of the aisles, suddenly, for a moment, you see reality break before you and merge within a singular amalgamation of all that is in existence. Gishrath, the Nine Hells, the Abyss, Elysia, Mechanus merging before you, suddenly like someone putting a finger to stop a vibrating guitar string, all within a fraction of a second. It breaks away from you at the speed of light. You are standing alone in the aisle watching the performance finale, and the audience erupts into applause. Gishrath is nowhere to be seen, and no one seems to have taken any notice of anything.
Jadir promptly walks to the very back of the room.
You hear like people like whistles, people whistling and applauding as you see Gerald kiss Rosemary's hand for a grand finale, and with an eruption of bardic lights, the curtains close on the theater, the audience still in great applause. He gets a standing ovation, and even the king and queen are clapping and nodding their heads to themselves.
I think Jadir is at the very back of the room with his back turned towards the stage, and with his long black fingernails, he's clawing at the back of the hand where he saw the protrusions.
It was all over your entire body, as far as you could tell. It was up your arms, on your hands.
I'm kind of dressed in
Yeah.
fine clothing, so that was
Okay.
probably where I would have seen it.
Yeah, you probably would have like stopped at your wrist then.
Yeah, and it just clawing at the back of the hand.
All right, you start tearing open the flesh in the back of your hand, and tiefling blood begins to spill out, like a well of blood just spilling out, dripping down the back of your hand, staining the purple carpet beneath your feet. If it wasn't
Lovely.
if it wasn't for the crowd of people currently all focused, giving applause to the performance, people definitely would have taken notice, but no one seems to be paying attention to you at the moment.
May I say one thing? Out of character.
Yeah, sure.
So I do this to my players, but I've never been to the receiving end of this, and I'm like, oh, this is what they go through. I am very uncomfortable, and this didn't even happen to Gerald.
I think Jadir just disappears to the back of the backstage if he can.
Yeah, you can. Well, you can't go backstage right now. I mean, you could leave the theater, and go around the back if you wanted to try and find them from behind.
Could he
Yeah,
miss
that's
it?
exactly what I would do.
Okay.
I would love it if he just Misty stepped in the back.
Let me.
Oh my god. That was a hell of a fucking scene for Jadir. Jesus. Traumatized much?
It's a little bit scared.
Right, you walk around the back of the theater and enter into the backstage. Fresh blood still flowing from your hand, as you walk in, and find Gerald and Rosemary, kind of laughing and smiling amongst themselves. It appears that the performance has gone over very well.
I think I'll take my handkerchief and like wrap around my arm as like I'm coming into the room.
Jadir, did you see us?
Jadir, do I see the wrapping? But any
Yeah, I'm sure you see a bit of a stained wrapping on the back of his hand.
I'm like, hey, what happened to you? Are you okay?
I cut my hand a little bit. I was so excited to come backstage. Well, I tripped outside. You were great.
Rosemary, if you would, just for a few moments. He kind of like walks to him a bit more privately, like, I had the pleasure of knowing you for a bit longer, and I know my dear friend Jadir doesn't just simply bleed his hand out from falling.
Jadir, I'm sorry about your hand, but the performance was so wonderful.
It was.
It was so exciting. I feel exhilarated. I want to do more.
Yes. Can I actually, because Gerald does care for his friend, can I use Cure Wounds? Like, can I?
Sure.
If he lets me touch him, that is.
I think at this point, Jadir has waved the hand to the side a little bit, sort of just putting it down, and is fully fixated on Rosemary, sort of brushing it aside. You should have been in the stage, or in the aisles, seeing the performance from down below. It was fantastic. You were unnatural.
Thank you. She seems to be just lost in the adrenaline of the performance.
There is a slight unhappy, facial expression as he looks, away from Rosemary as he looks at Jadir. But then he really quickly goes, to his typical, yes, it was wonderful. You did excellent. Well, to be fair, I almost thought we were flying.
Certainly felt like it.
Yes. Just you wait.
I wasn't expecting it to be just like that. You
well,
blew me away as well.
Well, what can I say? There's something always a bit magical in the world. You just have to find it.
I hope one day I can.
Well, from how you performed there, you seem to have found a bit of a spark of magic of your own.
She
Well,
smiles
that's
at
an
that,
understatement.
and gives you a big hug.
Not just me. That one over there
Oh,
has...
you too. Thank you, Mr. Manager. And she wraps her arms around you.
Jadir is kind of taken aback by the hug, but reciprocates nonetheless.
And it's like,
Oh?
also, I think some of the nobles will not be talking about curtains for a while. I think something else will finally occupy their mind for a bit.
Pretty
And
sure that's just
hopefully-
a my dad thing.
Maybe we even
I promise you
broaden-
most nobles aren't quite that obsessed with curtains.
Well, if we're lucky, we cured your father of whatever he has with curtains.
Somehow I doubt that.
Well,
If only for a moment, then.
Perhaps.
but yes. So, this feels like we need to celebrate. Think of it. You just performed in
Yes.
front of everyone.
Where should we go?
Ooh,
Well, it's customary for the leading performers to receive compliments from the audience after performances. Of course, people are waiting to talk to you.
Of course.
yeah.
She looks so excited.
Also, keep in mind, you absolutely blew them away. You're a champion.
Oh. No, it was all you.
All right, let's go say hello to them.
All
At
right.
the front, they'll be waiting for you.
You guys walk back out, and there's a great crowd of people at the front of the theater, all kind of talking amongst themselves about the performance and bursts of laughter and joy.
As I go behind, can I quickly go and hide it as a happy rhyme, almost like he's seemingly happy because he is still really worried. Can he try to sneak a healing word?
Yeah, sure.
Healing word, that would be... Oh, that's Cure Wounds. That's a completely different spell. 1d4 plus your spellcasting, that is 1d4 plus... Oh no, that's 2d4 plus a 3. Okay, let's just really quickly, 2d4. You can continue, by the way, while I'm doing this.
All right, you kind of spray out these healing words that collide with Jadir, and you feel the blood flow quench itself in the back of your hand.
Yeah.
Jadir would do whatever he can to silently step away from the group and leave the two alone and head off back towards the city by himself.
Would you... Okay, roll a stealth check versus Gerald's perception with advantage.
If I feel that I need to do this, I would assume a different person's disguise.
I'm not really looking at him because...
yeah, you become absorbed in the...
No, it's more because clearly something happened, and he does not want to share it right away. So Gerald is kind of he wants his me space for a while.
All right.
As soon as we enter the crowd, I think Jadir just slips away.
Gerald and Rosemary become quickly surrounded. Constant compliments and applause from various noblemen, all dressed in suits. The two of you are showered with compliments, and there are many hugs for and from Rosemary. You do not get any direct compliments from the royalty, but would usually be you get a sense that any direct compliments from the crown itself would be fairly unusual.
Hmm.
Jadir, Gerald, is there anything that you want to do while enwrapped in all these nobles?
No, he is simply staying by his word and letting Rosemary kind of take the spotlight.
Rosemary, kind of, without even trying, seems to subconsciously draw the attention away from you and onto herself just through her passion and excitement for the performance. Jadir, you make your way out of the upper ring and start jogging down the bridge.
Yeah, I want to try to subtle spell detect thoughts on people around me, just to see if like my spell casting is affected in any way.
Wisdom saves?
It's only if I want to probe deeper. They don't get a save.
Yeah, you can cast your magic just fine. I get thoughts of, can't wait to go home for dinner.
I think Jadir would just go for a fairly long walk around the poorest areas of the city.
Yeah, the park isn't huge, but it has a nice little path that winds its way through it.
And just waste as much time as possible. The
Lose
intention is to
yourself in
return
nature.
probably. I'm walking in my regular appearance. Trying to probably get back to a tavern around like 4 a.m.
Okay. You have no problem wasting time. Eventually, Gerald, your time with all the constant compliments and conversations comes to an end. And you and Rosemary part ways, and you make your way down to the park, where you see Jadir walking in circles on the path through the trees.
He kind of walks for a split second next to him, and he just kind of goes, "If you want to talk about it, I will listen, and I will do my best to understand whatever happened."
Time stopped.
What?
As you were performing, time stopped.
Kind of like strokes now his like grizzled face again. Not like that.
I could walk around. I could look at people. There were other things that were interesting as well. Something was wrong with my body. I had these odd patterns. I think it was all over myself.
I think we found ourselves a new priority to look at. Are you feeling okay, or any pain, anything?
Freaked out a little bit.
Well, yes, time stopped. A thing that's generally not really supposed to
Right.
stop. Look, maybe the dear friend, after everything has settled down a bit, we can look at our dear crazy cuckoo demon hunter, demonologist, not hunter, and maybe he has some info on this.
I was thinking about it too, but I don't think it's very smart to approach him before we know my brother's done with him.
Of course, that's why I say lay low for a bit. To be fair, though, I think it will be surprisingly easy, seeing how Rosemary took most of the attention. Well, but that is part of the deal that I made with our dear curtain lover.
There's something else as well.
What?
My family were sort of intermingled with a fiend. He was there.
It kind of looks a lot more serious, which is not common. All right. That is.
Was poised to eat the king and queen. And then all was back to normal.
I don't really know what to say about that.
Yeah, well, me neither.
Yes, time stopped. Big, scary demon, devil, whatever, fiend, appears out of nowhere. Well, we certainly have a mystery on our hands.
Well, gang,
So, all right. What do you say about this? You're freaked out. I'm freaked out about you being freaked out. It is not very common. And what do you say we go to somewhere a bit more familiar? Might calm our nerves a tiny bit.
What do you have in mind?
Well, we can go to the tavern. And, well, I have a bit of energy for some extra bravado, and to be fair, I do miss seeing those card tricks that you did pull.
Well, I'm not really in the mood, if I'm honest.
That is fair. All right, then how about this? We can go cause trouble. Want to pull a prank on someone? Come on.
How about we just spend the night at the Singing Swallow, see if somebody else is playing for once?
That works too. I actually kind of wanted to charm one of the guys and do something funny.
I just realized it is very, very late.
Oh yes, I am very much aware.
Late enough for it to be sunrise soon. I don't think that there's many places that are open.
That is true. Well, how about this? Let's just go to the tavern. Big old familiar place. And maybe we see if Eddie and some of the gang is up to some weird shenanigans.
Tell you what, I think I'll just retire for the night.
All right, that is fair. Just let me know if something is wrong. All right?
Well, I kind of just did.
No, like if it happens again. It's very strange to see the typical hard ass that never breaks any persona for anything to suddenly show up shocked.
I think Jadir gives a wide smile.
God,
I don't know how much of that is true.
Well, let me put it this way. Your smile is still scary, so do work on that still.
All right.
So
All
are
right.
you spending the night at the Singing Swallow?
No, I think we just retire for the tavern and pack up the night.
I leave. I'm actually going to what's-my-face? I'm going to leave a couple of gold coins with the tavern keeper.
She thanks you graciously.
Yeah, but I'll throw extra just and ask her to basically get Jadir some pies and other such things. Just stuff that I've seen him eat before.
She says that she can do that easily.
How much gold should that be? 5?
Just sure, throw down 5 gold. She'll do whatever you want.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. I removed 5 gold.
Gerald leaves the tavern and leaving you, Jadir, kind of sitting to your own thoughts, kind of looking down at the table. You're distracted for only a moment as the tavern keeper kind of walks over to you with a smile on her face and sets down a slice of pie in front of you. It's like, your friend told me that you might want some of this.
Oh, thank you, dear.
You're very welcome. Hope you had a good performance tonight.
Gerald did.
Right. But you're... never mind. I hope all went well.
Thank you.
In celebration. And she gives you kind of like a pat on the shoulder and walks back to the bar.
And Jadir will like slowly peck at it before retiring for the night.
Leaving your pie half finished, you stand up and go back to the tavern. As you open the door, it's like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. You stumbled your way through town, just tired and confused, and make your way up to the tavern. Radzvir is surprisingly, he looks to be conked out in the corner, just kind of leaning up against the wall. It appears that he's fallen asleep with his head kind of tilted down.
I'll gently, with the back of my hand, slap him on the cheek a few times.
Oh shit. I went, oh, yeah. Kind of rubbing his eyes, getting the sleep
Morning.
and gathering his thoughts. You're back. I've been here for like, what time is it?
I don't quite know. Early.
Been waiting here for at least 6 hours. Anyway, I went to talk to Franchester. He is in a very sorry state, but I think I have him right where I want him. He told me that, doesn't know he's deeply ashamed. Azorius came to his house and, told him that it wasn't okay to do stuff like that on the job, and basically Franchester whined to me about how everyone thinks that he's a drug addict now, and how someone named Hap was temporarily promoted to Franchester's position, but Franchester now thinks this is going to be permanent, and he's doesn't know what to do, and he feels deeply ashamed of himself. He doesn't even want to leave his house. I think it'll be real easy to get him hooked on some ice thistle.
Well, it sounds like things are going well on your end.
Definitely.
You have remembered to take into account his alternate personality.
Oh. Is that like a really thing that we need to worry about? I mean, he's gonna be under our control in a matter of days.
Well, I think he might find the agreement preferable.
The alternate
He has a weird
personality?
font of knowledge. As long as you supply him with things for his experiments, he should be happy.
Perhaps I should meet this alternate personality.
I kind of thought you had already.
I haven't. This all seems like a crazy tale to me.
Well, I don't deny it. But he was the one who requested us to go through all this effort.
Huh. That's right. Well, I'll get him hooked, I'll get him under our thumb. That's what he wanted, right?
As long as he has control of his house, he should be happy.
It appears that for now, there was nothing being moved to revoke his estate. I have many ears throughout the city at this point.
I can imagine.
I'm surprised
Is there
you
anything
don't.
need from me?
From you? I just wanted to inform you of everything that's happening. Still hoping that you'll change your mind about coming home.
It's more fun this way.
Figured you'd say something like that. Get some sleep. And he stands up and
You too.
walks out, shutting the door behind him.
And sort of uneasily, Jadir will retire for the second time in a row, fairly late.
Yeah. World fades to black as you quickly plunge into sleep. Day comes, and surprisingly, you wake up on your own at about 8:30, maybe just 4.5 hours after you went to bed, and find it difficult to go back to sleep now that the sun is pouring in through the window.
I guess Jadir would just kind of hang around
Yeah, Gerald,
and wait to see
did you want to do anything after you left the tavern? Or the Singing Swallow?
I only have like a small scene, but it relates to the mask.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So he's kind of like in his room, but he's not doing the typical like just pet talking to the mask.
Okay.
It like becomes more, he placed it like somewhere where it's like within eye level, like on a table somewhere where he's sat on the other end of the room.
Okay.
And it's just, you know, he sees the first time when a successful performance feels very bittersweet, if you may. Okay, nature. Anyway. To be fair, I guess it's a bit childish of me. Going for the whole bard tale thing, you kind of end up hearing so many stories about amazing adventures and successful stories and stuff. Half expected this to either end up being a laughing fest between me and him or something, you know, that we could enjoy. So it looks like we both actually went away from that quite unhappy. You're gonna look to the map. So, I know this is dumb, but, well, you're a performer in a way. Well, were a performer, or whatever you were. What do you do when you feel defeated, even though after you've succeeded?
The room is silent. You haven't heard anything from the mask in a long time. Ever since you told it to shut up and leave you alone, it seems you haven't gotten anything from it.
Well, if you left, I guess that's it. Kind of like does the whole like licking his teeth. He's just kind of looking it down. You know, I never wanted to be a performer, but a part of me took a liking to it, you know? Everybody smiling, stuff like that, but This doesn't feel fun. This feels more like we did something wrong. We did everything correct, but we did something wrong. Something happened. Maybe it was out of our control, maybe it wasn't. Maybe we didn't plan more. I don't know. You know, if you want to speak, you're allowed to speak every now and then. I know it was quite rude to you, but... Oh, well. Who am I kidding?
You feel a familiar magnetization, a draw between you and the mask.
So, as he kind of like looks at the mask, Joe kind of goes, well, you know, I do feel like Jadir is making a lot more sacrifices than I am, having to deal with his family and bringing them in, and whatever just happened. Well, I have to admit I'm a bit tired of being just a dumb pretty face. Well, as pretty as I can be. Well, I do hope, in this most sincerest of ways, that there's some answers behind you. Otherwise, I'm just going to die looking like an idiot. Well, as they say, Ellie, and he kind of like just puts it on.
You quickly grab the mask and put it on your face.
Yep.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
I have been instantly killed. It's end of story.
Good job.
Thank you. Well, I want to know about the mask, because at this point I've been delaying it for way too long.
I don't blame you. Well, I mean, for putting it on solo, yes.
Yeah. All right. You said a wisdom check or a wisdom save?
Save.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then that's a different thing. Whoops.
Yeah, that's a different kind of thing.
Yeah. Where do I find saves again? I use them so rarely.
Because you guys never do anything other than
it's
talk.
I know. Okay, I'm most likely
challenge from the DM.
It's
What?
a 12.
12. Alright. You put the mask on your face, and instantly, you are drawn out from yourself, and the sensation of your own hands and arms fades as you are pulled into darkness. The darkness fades, and before you is a forested scene. It's a warm autumn evening. A halfling woman and her daughter are taking a stroll through the forest. A gentle breeze blows through the woods, picking up the colorful leaves and taking their hand in dance. Mommy, when will Daddy be back from this hunting trip? The little girl asks. I'm not sure. You might be a lot older before you see him again. But I miss Daddy. I know, but sometimes we must let go of the things that we no longer have. You'll understand when you're older. The pair make their way along a gentle trail and pass along the side of a small hill. The child trips and begins to tumble down it. Lauren! The mother cries out as the child yells in panic as she tumbles down the steep hillside. She eventually comes to the bottom and lands, breaking through the trees into a small patch of bushes. She crawls out, moaning and rubbing her head. She looks down at the ground. Before her lies a black and white mask with a sharp smile. Morning comes, and you awaken Gerald.
Okay.
The mask is on the table, and you are still in the chair. Morning sunlight streaming in through the window.
That was more pleasant than I expected. Oh.
Jadir, you are awake as well.
I think Judy is trying to wait for Gerald to come around.
Yeah. As he kind of wakes up from this, whatever just happened, he kind of like looks at the mask and goes, "All right, friends, I guess. I'll treat you nicer." Like talking to the mask, and he kind of like puts it back down in the nice section that he's made. Like, seeming a bit dazed from what just happened.
Silence. It's a regular mask.
Huh. And like packs up, gets ready for his usual thing, seeming surprisingly a bit more chipper than he suspected he would be. But still very, very, very confused. Oh, hello, Judea.
Morning.
I would say lovely morning, but
Well, as a matter of fact, it is.
okay, for you as well, or
In
I had-
general.
I had a strangely lovely night, actually. Very strange.
Bad form to kiss and tell.
No, no, not like that. No, 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 no. No, no, no. I meant I had a nice dream.
And?
Well, it's
Just
hard.
that.
It's hard to say. It felt wonderful in a strange way. Other than that, I'm feeling a bit more chipper than usual.
All right.
Yes. And yes, so what is our plan? Also, just came to me, we've just performed for royalty, and our purse is still a bit, purses, our coin bags are still very light.
Well, isn't it customary for nobility to pay tribute of some kind? To be honest, I thought you had squared away payment for your services.
No, I never got paid, interestingly enough.
I suppose you were given patronage by Franchester, or Francis, Sir Francis. He must be, very pleased with you.
Definitely. Though, I'm going to have a lot more issues with this town if, with the nobility if my purse remains alight still.
Well,
Also-
he is a patron of the arts. We can drop by his place and see if he has anything for us. If not, perhaps inquire at the High Theater.
Definitely. And I need to stop saying purse. I've been around the nobility for too long. Ugh. Bad habits, I tell you. Bad habits. But yes.
Fair enough.
Anyways, lovely day, and I guess this is where the day we get answers. I hope.
I don't know.
Well, that's what we came here for. Huh? Come on, let's look on the bright side. And in the worst case,
Before we approach Francesca, are we going to do that blindly without knowing how things are going with my brother, or no? I don't think that's very smart.
I'm talking about answers for the coinage, and then later during the night, you know.
Possibly. Sir Francis, no?
But yeah. So, quick question. Where's the closest halfling village?
You remember that the daughter, so it was a halfling woman, but the daughter appeared to be a human. But as far as halfling villages, you've come across a few in the forest at one time or another. Nothing very close to Brad Bisa.
He's mostly just kind of selling it off as like a casual, like, oh, do you know if there's any halfling village nearby?
You know, we're not actually here to do sightseeing. I know
No,
we
I'm
keep
just
saying that to people, but
I'm just curious because I've not really seen many halflings around the area. But anyways,
all right.
so
Oh,
shall we?
correction. I meant to say the daughter was a halfling, the mother was a human.
Okay. Well, that changes the question
Okay.
significantly. It goes, do you think there's any nearby villages of some sort, like outskirt of town? We didn't cross any on the way. Did we?
There's plenty of farming settlements beyond the walls dedicated to that you guys kind of passed through on your way to the city in the very first session.
Nothing similar there, is it?
I'm a little bit confused. You're not making a lot of sense at the moment.
No, I'm just a bit dazed. Anyways, I don't have many good dreams, if you may.
All right.
But shall we go check on our dearest friend, Francis?
Suppose that would be a good idea.
All right. And I guess we head there.
You're heading off to Sir Francis's manor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You knock on the door. And Ryan the butler immediately opens it up and says, "Ah, Gerald. Francis has been expecting you."
Ah, yes. Yeah, everybody went a bit late home last night, didn't they?
Yes. Do come in.
Ah, thank you.
You come in and Francis and Rosemary are currently eating breakfast around a table that as you guys go off to the right, not your familiar window looking out on the upper ring, but rather going off to the right. There's a large dining room table that Sir Francis and his daughter are currently sitting at eating breakfast. Rosemary is still recounting tales of the performance and how excited she is about everything.
We should come during breakfast times more often when it comes to this. We get to skip on the whole thing.
Ah, there's our man. Ryan, get this man some food. Of course.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I was a bit worried that I was disturbing your breakfast.
No, you never. After such a successful performance, you can come by anytime.
You flatter me, and you are so gracious.
Rosemary hasn't been quiet about it.
Oh,
Well,
really?
of course not. The energy in the crowd, it was astonishing.
And Rosemary's like, they love me.
Well,
Of
yeah.
course they do. Why wouldn't they?
Well, gentlemen, after breakfast, I will allow Ryan to deliver your part of the profit.
Thank you. That would be lovely.
Very
Also-
good. Thank you very much.
Do join us. And Ryan brings out platters of fruits and eggs and ham and bacon, croissants.
Hon, 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 hon. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, we would sit down and join them for breakfast.
Yeah. Oh my God, Jesus.
What is it?
Not just, it's storming heavily outside suddenly.
Exciting.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so he kind of like eats as much, like not like till he's stuffed, just enough to the point where it's like he's not doing any disrespect,
Yeah.
like by leaving food behind.
You guys have a wonderful breakfast. Did you guys just want to come by to collect your pay, really? Or did you want to have like a conversation?
Sir Francis, what are your plans for the future?
With regards to what?
Well, I don't want to be too forthright, but Gerald may have some plans for the city.
Such as? And he looks to you, Gerald.
He kind of like, oh well, well, so funny thing, I'm so used to the entertainment life, so I noticed this after a couple of days around the city. I didn't really expect Jadea to bring it up. Well, I've noticed that there's no entertainment district around here.
Not
Like-
officially, but there's the theater.
Of course, of course. It's just, I always remember fondly of the entertainment districts, where many amazing talents from all over the world come.
Common people always do.
Sure, but are the common people really deserving of such a fantastic performance from one such as yourself?
No,
that-
Perhaps
is
only suitable for
precisely-
nobles.
Precisely why we should let it trickle down. They know they're not
I
deserving.
love the trickle-down system.
But yes, this would allow many other talents from across the world to arrive around, and well, where there's entertainment, even for commoners, there's always coin.
This is
And
true.
beyond that, they would attribute it to you. They would know that
Ooh, I like
Sir
that.
Francis is there.
Sir Francis's Court of Music and Performance.
We'll work on the title. a little bit, but
Dedicated
yes.
to the mighty Sir Francis in all his glory. I like the sound of that. Rosemary's rolls her eyes, but her dad doesn't see her.
Okay, let's be fair. We all love it. We all love him. We all love him equally, even though he's a bit of a twat sometimes.
I will build a great, great theater.
But yes, imagine just how lively everything would become.
Of course, the commoners must keep to their common jobs, but I suppose if they have any free time, they could toss their coin my way.
Of course.
I mean, our way.
But yes,
Potentially drawing some people in from outside of Barat as well.
Barad doesn't
bring it-
get very many visitors.
Yes.
Broad Bus
And
is
then-
really the
change.
only major city.
And of course, imagine if there's an entertainment district that you yourself build and help grow. There will be many people traveling from many, many distances.
All
just
right,
to
all
come-
right, all right. You've convinced me. How should we proceed?
Well, as usual, the manager's job is best fitted for this, as I am simply a performer.
Good thinking, Mr. Manager.
Well, it's just an idea for now. We have to think of how to pull it off. All the logistics would be very complicated and
Sure.
have to get support and whatever. This is the kind of work I wouldn't want to bother you with. We have to put in the legwork before talks.
Good
can
that you know
begin.
your place.
Very well.
Oh my god.
You rosemary mouths from across the table.
Oh lord. But yeah.
I think we'll be taking a few days off to celebrate. And after that, we'll get on new and better things.
Take your time. I'll be here. You deserve it.
Oh,
And he says that
and-
looking at you, Gerald.
Thank you. It was a bit of a legwork more than usual, not really used to floating.
Well, keep it up and we'll have the king and queen enthralled in no time.
Certainly. And also, just as you know, I think, and no, not even think, I am sure, your daughter charmed the entire, every nobility there was charmed by
Of
your
course
daughter.
she did.
I know. Like I said.
She's the most beautiful woman in all the land. And Rosemary kind of cheeks red, looking down at her plate, eating a little bit, pecking at some fruit.
But yes. Yes. I will. I want to ask about a certain person, if you may. Well, a certain thing.
Yes.
Out of curiosity. A bit of a very minor thing. Would you happen to know any more map makers of any sorts?
Map makers.
I'm curious about the surrounding. After we traveled a bit, well, I'm a bit curious what's around this city.
There is a geography teacher that dabbles in cartography if you wish to speak to her at the school.
Ah, that would be lovely. It's a bit of a habit. Wherever I went, I always had a map, so it's always nice to have them.
Makes sense.
Thank you very kindly. And he kind
Maybe
of
I can make a curtain out of a map. Oh, how exciting would that be?
Breakfast has been lovely. Thank you so much for your time. Best to be off with, not to trouble either one of you any longer.
Can I just say, if he actually makes a full-on curtain map, I will both hate and love the man.
Well, thank you for joining us for breakfast. Are you sure you don't want some tea and crumpets?
No, the day is young, and we must get on with other things.
Very well.
But yeah,
With that, Judea will politely bow.
Gerald will do so as well.
All right. You are dismissed.
Out of character, do we get paid? Through him, or-
Yes, as you walk to the door, Ryan the butler brings you a small hand-sized chest filled with gold coins.
Okay. How much is in there?
Looks to be about 750 gold.
750. All right. Not as much as the whole root thing, but I guess it's some gold. I still have some gold left over, so I let Jadir take it.
All of it?
Yeah, I still have that gold that you gave me, remember?
How much was there? 750?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah.
I just had the weirdest thought this morning.
Oh,
This fiend I know.
yes?
Earlier he was mentioning to me that he and I could change the city. And I thought to myself that there's no need for me to do that. I'm not looking to do any of those things.
Likewise, to be fair, I was quite shocked when you brought up the entertainment thing.
Right, well, I thought that this would be a passing locale, somewhere to find your demonologist, pass through, and get on with our journey. But now I find myself unwittingly scheming, raising up pointless things about the worship of gods here, talking with members of the resistance. I don't quite understand it.
Can we go somewhere a bit private? I need to tell you something.
All right.
And we quickly find somewhere a bit more private.
You could
Hopefully.
duck into like a well, there is kind of like this nice center little tree growth mini park area with a bench between some of the districts in the hill. Nobody appears to be around. If you're looking for somewhere truly private, you could probably...
No, just so people don't hear us.
Yeah.
So, I won't lie, I felt a bit lost after the performance.
Why? I thought you were fantastic.
It didn't feel like a win, if you may. It just felt like, well, to put it in more bluntly, I felt like a monkey dancing in front of a crowd.
But you were.
Yeah.
It's a new frame of reference. Your audience in this case, they were a means to an end.
Of course, but it didn't feel, even though we succeeded, it doesn't feel like we succeeded in a weird way, does it?
We haven't succeeded until Francesca has told us about your mask.
True. Yes, that brings me to the point. I put the mask on. Again.
You dumb shit.
Well, you're right about that one. But it didn't kill me, and it, as you see, it kind of points towards his face. Nothing of hook scars or whatever. And I think it may be related to the nice dream I had.
Right. To cut in on that, that sort of brings me to my next point. Even though you may look fine, inside things may be different.
You sure?
I thought I saw the fiend devour the king and queen. I was preparing to do so. You, like the king and queen, might be fine appearance-wise, but who knows what's really up.
Well, to be fair, I think, if anything, it's your brother who is... Well, your family that's going to be the downfall of the king and queen. I don't think I have any connections towards that fiend.
I've never had any inclinations of meddling that affair. The king and queen have never come into talks. In any case, you were saying something about putting the mask on.
Well, all right. So, where do I start?
Putting the mask on.
Yes. So I put the mask on since I was a bit curious. It hadn't talked to me in a while. So I decided. Did I tell you that, by the way?
It talks to you.
Well, it did before I told it to shut up, and then it shut up, and then it didn't talk for a while.
Look, yesterday, I believe it was today, you told me earlier in a somber tone that if something was up, that you'd tell me.
Well, to be fair, I didn't think it was worth mentioning for the simple reason of it didn't talk anymore. It was just a mask.
So when the problem went away, it was fine. I don't think if I were to use that excuse with you, you would accept it.
Well, I'd understand it.
Whatever.
Okay. I will admit, I was at fault.
All right, you put the mask on. Then what?
Well, I dreamt or experienced this lovely little cottage, some sort. And, it was a human mother a human female with a small little halfling, which might be a daughter, might adopted, I don't know. She fell down some sort of a thing, very peaceful, and she didn't get that hurt, and, well, I don't think just a couple of bruises. And then she found the mask, and it was very peaceful, strangely enough. Best I've slept in for months, to be fair.
Look, I never really paid attention in classes. All these talk of symbols and similes and hyperboles flew over my head. I don't get it.
Well, I don't really get those. Let's be fair. Demonology was just a bit of a hard. Well, I'm not the smartest, so demonology was a bit of a. Some I know, some I don't know.
All right, but is this a vision? Is this an omen? What?
I have no idea. It's Did it feel real, by the way? Did it feel real, or did it feel like a dream?
Felt like a dream.
Yeah, it felt like a dream. More than anything.
Well, you seem to be in better spirits than yesterday.
Definitely. It's, I was a bit dazed when I woke up because, I'll be fair, you don't really have that good of a dream very often. But yeah, nothing seemed to happen, and,
All right. What do you say we grab some pie and drop in on Francesca? Even if he's not been visited by my brother, we could see what state he's in. As caring people who assumed that we would help him in a time of need.
I feel like that is a bad move. I feel like we should rather talk to the other half.
All right. We'll wait for the evening then.
As we don't know if he remembers the medicine.
Right, fair point. In the meantime, what do we do?
Well, I don't think there's many demonology, like books and libraries and other such things.
Speaking of the library, why did you want A map?
I curiosity. It seemed like a peaceful place, and well,
Peaceful
knowing
how?
well, you've seen all of the chaos that has happened here and on the roads and other such things. No matter where, no matter where I've been, traveled, and gone through for the years that I've been alive, even when I was training to be a guard, when I was just a boy, I've always felt like there's this underlying chaos everywhere, which isn't that bad, you know. Chaos creates excitement. But for the first time, when I had that dream, it felt like that place was almost untouched by it, if you may. It just felt like a peaceful home.
When you said everything felt dreamlike, I think it's highly unlikely that this is nothing more than a fabrication of your mind. Maybe you want to see a place like that.
Kind of raises an eyebrow. Will I have a halfling daughter? How does... like, looks just confused, like, kind of grabs his chin. I... kind of, like, pats himself around. I am human, I'm not a very tall halfling.
Look, dreams are strange. I
Well-
can't seem to stop dreaming about donkeys flying.
Have you been traumatized by the whole bird donkey thing?
No. At least I don't
Wait.
think so.
Are you enjoying the dream?
I don't think so. Maybe? It's hard to tell. Look, see what I mean? Dreams are weird. I
True.
don't think it's a good use of our time to chase after maps of non-existent locations.
That is fair. To be fair, I think the mask has just kind of stopped working, maybe.
Look, ask Francesca about quaint little villages with women and halflings.
Okay, let's be fair. He is going to be so not helpful on that topic. But, you know, on the interesting note, what do you want to do? We could cause some trouble just for fun, or... you know? What do you feel like doing?
Let's spend the day at the bathhouse and then go visit Francesca.
Ooh, bathhouse, yes. They don't have a private one. Kind of like things for a moment.
His face in his hands.
You can wrap the towel around your waist again.
Of course,
Don't forget your arm too.
yeah. To be fair, I might as well just mummify myself at that point.
We'll get a mud bath, alright?
There are no mud baths,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
How about this? You will take the bath, and I will wash myself.
However you want to do anything. Meet at the tavern, 9 p.m.
Sure thing. But, also, I really hope that we find answers for the whole thing yesterday. I sincerely mean it.
Likewise.
Well, let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into.
Yeah, and I guess the two of us would waste the day away until we had an opportunity to meet with Francesca.
It is 9 o'clock. You guys are at the tavern. You have gathered your pie, and you are ready for your meeting.
I suppose we'd waste a few more hours, so it's well and truly nighttime, and then hop on over.
All
Why
right.
does it feel like we're about to fight like a boss, but we're armed with a pie?
It's a good pie.
it's a better be a good pie.
No, my only weakness, a pie.
You make your way up the hill under the light of the full moon. Francester's door is unlocked.
Well, this is new. Fingers crossed. Jadir opens the door. After you?
Well, perhaps nice company.
Jadir knocks loudly on the front door.
The hatch opens up, and the rug is flung back. Francester's there. Ah! I was expecting you sometime.
Well, we're here. Shall we, Joe?
Ah, yes.
Did you guys finally do it?
Well,
The house has
take a look
been
around.
nowhere near as neat as it usually is. I think Francester's kind of upset about something. You've gotten my hopes up.
That's the plan. I hope he's suitably rattled.
I think so. But it's not like I'm him or anything.
So you wouldn't know if he's been visited by other people.
Could be that.
But yes. Anyways, it would seem that, well, everything is progressing a lot, well, nicer than we expected.
That's good. That's good. Did you do it though?
Well, we made him think that he was terribly sick at work. We made somebody replace him, at least temporarily. He is likely looking at an easy escape, and, well, if he hasn't made one already, he will be presented with an offer that will make his life very complicated shortly. It's difficult to
Perfect.
tell. I don't know if he's already had this visitor or no.
I think it might be time. I am ready to unveil myself
I hope you mean.
to
You
him.
keep
To
your
him.
I was a bit worried there. I was like,
What would you be worried about?
well, generally when people say that, they kind of mean.
I mean, what?
Don't get me wrong. Nothing. I'm just happy it wasn't what I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
But he kind of whispers, also the pie.
Pie?
Oh,
Wow, you
yes,
have
the
some
pie.
sweet bakery.
I hope it's cherry pie. The cherries are my favorite.
Jadir looks at the apricot pie that he's carried over. No, it's still very good.
Oh, okay. Gimme.
Jadir kind of looks at the entire pie and just like shrugs and gives it over.
He takes the pie, putting his face right into the dish. He pulls it off his face, and you can see like his entire face is just smeared with apricots and sugar and little bits of crust.
Oh, you missed a spot.
He just grabs he walks over to you and rubs his face just like on your jerkin.
I use prestidigitation to clean it off me.
You kind of with a blast of air from your hands, the clothes are cleaned. Better? Do I look good?
They're absolutely smashing.
Perfect.
Speaking of smashing, your front door was open.
Yeah, I left it unlocked for you.
No, quite considerate of you.
You've never actually done anything like that for us.
Yeah, but I was expecting you this time.
All right. And you personally, not the other Franchester, you, have not been visited by anyone else.
Not while I'm here.
Wait, are we expecting someone else?
Well, my brother.
Yeah, okay, I was kind of waiting to
Your
meet
brother?
him.
He's sort of involved in this.
Oh, is he the
A key
person that you
part.
said with like the thingy with the deal?
That is correct.
Well, as long as everything's going according to plan, you do you.
It appears we're slightly too early here.
Is your brother always fashionably late, or...
I mean, you didn't tell your
No.
brother to meet you here, did you?
No, he's just assuming it,
Yeah.
because it's like... Well, it seems like he either has his hands tied or something. Well, at least I don't have to meet him. Which is already huge relief, I'll be fair.
Kind of assumed he'd be taking care of this meeting at some point.
You would think that this would have priority.
Well, knowing him, it'll be tonight if he hasn't already done it, so... Perhaps we should come back.
The door behind you swings open and you hear the steps of as your brother comes up behind you. Oh, you're here. Wasn't expecting you guys to show up tonight. Is this Franchester? Is this the other?
This is the other one.
Hello. That just like as soon as he hears that out of Franchester, he's like, "Hello, do you know me?" Nope. He's just kind of standing there.
How similar do the two brothers look?
Pretty similar, I assume. I mean, you can see resemblance.
So did you both get your mother's eyes, or was it the father's eyes?
Please.
What? I'm trying to make small talk.
He doesn't like to associate with us.
Well, don't take this the wrong way, but I understand why, because I hear...
Yes. Anyway.
So, crazed, deranged Franchester, demonologist. Yes.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you as well. So, your alternate personality, I've spoken to them and they are very adamantly ashamed, and his position has been temporarily taken over by someone named Hap. He is deeply ashamed of himself, and I think now is the perfect time to command his subservience. That is your plan, right? Yes, I was just saying that. He's mine now. I was thinking of getting him hooked on ice thistle. No, that means I get hooked on ice thistle. No, don't. No drugs. No drugs.
Look at him inside.
The
Jadir kind
tiefling.
of looks at Gerald like, we already...
Netherbite is non-addictive. More or less. I feel okay. Just don't do it again. It's always okay if you just do it once.
He kind of does.
Right.
We have some spare, just, you know.
No, do not tempt me.
Well, just testing you.
Anyway, as for you, shady tiefling guy, just no drugs, and you can do whatever you want with him. Except now he's gonna be doing whatever I tell him to now. So and the tiefling says, "What? No. The whole point of this was so that we could have him under our thumb, a powerful man." I'm like, well, he's under my thumb now. Radzvir kind of straightens up. Jadir, you told me that we would have a powerful man under the control of the Telsvarum's family if I helped you out here.
Well, can't you see that you both want to say
Sounds like this guy's just
Really?
completely insane. What? No.
Insane is just another word for a different point of view. You're not seeing that you both agree on a general direction. You ensure that this Franchester has greater agency, and in return, the other Franchester will be told to do specific things on the behalf of the family. It's a
Insane
give and
Franchester. Yes. You work with us. You work for the Telsvarums. You be our contact, and when we need things, we can come to you. You sound like, from what they have told me, someone with strange amounts of connections and power. He's like, I can do lots of things. That's very good. Work for us, and we'll stay out of this other guy. My new slave. If you say so.
Is it still possible for the Telsvarums to request specific things from the other Franchester, the normal one, from time to time?
Well, so hopefully he'll be doing what I tell him to, so if you need anything from me, within reason, that's not completely crazy, and only every once in a while, I'm sure you can get regular Franchester on the line.
See? I told you we were fine.
Your brother looks a little bit disgruntled at the situation, but satisfied enough. Very
You're just
well.
gonna let-
I think shall stay in the city for a while. I'm turning quite a profit flipping drugs to the commoners and nobles. Whew, smart boy. Is there anything else you guys need of me?
He kind of like, Jadir, for a moment, please. And he kind of like, you two just wait there.
The tiefling crosses his
just a
arms.
moment. Just,
Nodding
brother,
his
there's some
head.
pie. Just there's some pie if you.
He looks at
What-
the
Yes,
pie
Gerald.
with a face-shaped hole in the middle of it. I'll pass.
But he kind of leans to the side. All right. No, he's making sure that only he hears it.
Okay.
Like then looking just. All right. So who do we ask? I hate to tell this, but I do not trust your brother for our whole situation.
I don't think it matters really.
Don't you think he would, abuse it?
Look, if you're gonna ask it from the other Franchester, they might very well spend their first questions asking about me, and in turn find out everything that you're gonna ask him anyway. But don't assume the questions you're going to ask are going to be private.
That's fair. Well,
I've just come to assume the worst. And I'm often right.
as long as he doesn't bother us, I'm happy. He won't bother
And
us,
then
right?
ask away. I've got no idea.
Look, he kind of like turns around. Look, I'm just trying to get my thing here. Don't want any connections. No offense, by the way. I just have my plate already full as it is. So, you know, we go our separate ways, each happy with our own share. Sound good?
I will take my leave.
All right.
I'll be back, Francesca. Hope to see you soon!
Also, just on a positive note, you two look strikingly alike.
The door closes.
Just in Gerald's face.
Oh, I'm not looking. I was just saying that while he was walking.
Leaving the three of you alone in Francesca's house. Francesca looks at you guys and opens the trap door, beckoning for you to follow him down as he climbs down the ladder.
Oh, this is new. All right.
And Jadir will descend after the crazed man.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with. There's no point of me to stay.
Let's see. So, you descend into this dark room lit by green lanterns as you guys go down the ladder. There's chairs strewn about, papers everywhere, carvings on the walls and the floors, flickering lights under the green flame. Francesca sits down. These mossy green lanterns litter the room, hanging from the ceiling, placed on desks covered in books and papers. A pentagram is drawn on the floor with pedestals at each point on the star, all currently empty. Sitting in a large chair, Francesca. Now, you have made your part of the bargain true. Leaning forward. How may I help you? And that is where we will end Season 1.
Fuck you. I'm gonna have to wait months for this?
Yeah. Just like
Have
one.
fun rock climbing.
I will. Thank you for your participation.
Yeah, it was
It's
fun.
been amazing.
Yeah, it's been real fun. Man,
I am full of questions.
we both are.
An interesting last session, for sure.
That's fine. I'm gonna have my my cork board of fan theories.
I'm just gonna have my corkboard of not trusting your brother.
I mean, fair.
Corkboard of how to screw over your brother.
God, I want to know more about Francesca. What the fuck is up with that man? God damn,
Wait.
the resistance. I am so confused.
We found-
And
we
Gishrath
found-
is involved.